Now, that's all we needed to know there. I know, super quick, right? Because we're going to go into the Google Business Profile. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So if we go, I can type in my business. And what will end up happening is my business will show up here. So I manage a number of businesses. So I'm getting this listicle, right? And I can view all businesses, and that'll take me inside the back end of Google Business Profile. If you only have one business, you will just see the one thing here, right? Know that this is what might be going away, because if let me just search incognito for a second and show you. When you search your own business name, soon to be when you search my business, if you're just a solo business owner, what's going to come up is this. And we're going to go on the back end and look at how we do this, but I'm going to show you this first because this is where you're probably going to go in the future. This is what you're probably going to be pushed to use. So Google knows it's your business. You got your three options. They break things down. So if I'm going to edit my profile, this is where I put my business information. This is where I do my write-up. See, I got my categories, I got my primary, and then all my secondary. I have what we do. Should I update this? Yes. Should I have more words in it? Yes. You have your opening date. You have your phone number, your website, right? So Google is letting me even edit where my little map pin goes. You get your service areas. So this is really important to fill out. We always recommend 24 hours because it seems that if you are open 24 hours, you might show up in the map section even when you're closed. So you go in here, as I said, lots of hours. You can add more hours. Depending on the type of business you are, like restaurants can do their delivery, can have their menus, can actually have ordering. There's just so much happening in this space. If you have products, they're eventually going to show up there. If you're e-commerce, space is growing. So you got to pay attention to it. Whether or not you do everything in here will take you a long time. I highly suggest the way you pay attention to things is what is Google listing out first. Of course, they're listing out photos last, which is weird. But so this is first, edit profile. So Google wants you to fill out that information, right? Can have a booking calendar, list out your services. Now, services are strange, as I said, because, and see, it lists my primary category, and then it has all the other categories, and then I can actually add things or edit things. And so you can have a lot of fun with this. However, I don't think this stuff ranks, and you can't link into your website. I'm not sure why it's there. I'm trying to fill it out to see if it'll have an effect. I would not consider it a major thing to do. Having your categories is a major thing to do. I like using the products. I think they're gorgeous. You build your product. It looks like a social media post. You can add your price range. We do not. And then you can have 1,000 words, and you can add your call to action, which is what you want because you want your products to go to your service pages or your products. So I look at products as interchangeable to services, right? If I sell a service, like I'm a car mechanic and I sell like detailing, I'm going to have a Google Business Profile called detailing, and it's going to link to my detailing page. And then if I write a blog post about the best detailers in Vancouver, then my blog post will link to the blog. Like my post in Google Business Profile link to my blog post. When you're on the other side of Google, it'll show up, and the whole thing is people are going to be less likely to go to your website over time because of how we're interacting with the search engines with that zero-click attribution. So the concept here is, how do we make it so a user can get deep into our site so they can get into our service pages without having to go to our home page and then click to a service page? So that's the concept, and that's the strategy. Okay, so edit profile, go around, click around, get down, right? The other place to go now, promote does not mean advertise. Of course, they want you to advertise because that's their second. Do not click this button. Google is trying to steal your money. This is not where you go get your ads. You go to Google Ads to get your ads. This is for the users that aren't going to have control or don't know how to use the advertising platform. And so they're just going to overspend. So you're going to run across a lot of business owners that have tried Google Ads. This is probably where they clicked. No fault of their own. They don't know that Google's trying to steal their money. So just try to direct advertisers to go to the advertising platform because you have more choices. Like with Facebook, when you had the boost post, I think you still have that. You're only getting to your wider audience, still your audience. So it's like that. They're trying to steal your money over there too. Where you want to pay attention to is performance. This is going to tell you, your insights. How many calls did you get? How many views? You can click around here. Don't forget about those three dots. So you're going to have messages, bookings, right? If you use this directions. Now, different businesses are going to have different things. If people are asking for direction requests for my business, nobody comes here. I do service area. So you don't have to list your address. We do. You can see how many people went from your Google business profile into your website. Now, this is all fine and dandy. To be honest, we don't actually use this. So you can go here. We use Data Studio, but you can use this as a snapshot, or business owners will get like an email once in a while from Google being like, oh, you did this many visits. They're taking Search Console information and Google business profile information. So again, the three dots can send feedback. There is a place to download performance stuff. Again, you're going to be learning Data Studio, and so you'll be able to see the stats you want over there. So then you have photos. Oh, photos. So it said images. Now it's saying photos. Are they the same? Yes, they are. And it's in two places. So they definitely are saying, hey, use photos. And if you do this and you use photos, Google will be like, we want more photos. Google wants you to get reviews. They actually have it in their documentation, people that have used your business for reviews. So I know it's hard to ask, but you got to be unapologetic. And you got to go for it, because this can change your business. If people can learn about your business before they get to your business, they feel more secure. So there's more trust. With more trust comes better relationships. So then we add the updates. This is about the posting. Add an offer. This is like a posting, but it's an offer. So it has like discount options. I don't use it. Often I've had clients use it. Google used to have this thing where if you made an offer, you'd make it to your followers. Yes, that's right. I said followers. I don't know if they got rid of that because I didn't even know where to sign up. So, and you can add an event. So all these things are add an update, add an offer, add an event. This is all part of posting, right? So it's saying, hey, post. And then over here, you have your customers. This is where you're going to communicate with your customers. So your reviews, your calls, your messages, your Q&A. The Q&A and having access to, and people should answer these and say, yes, we do. I think I actually asked the question. So I'm answering my own question. So that's might not be ideal, but Google wants user-generated content here. Now, the most interesting thing about the question and answer is that when you type a question, so where you'll find the question and answers down here. So start asking businesses questions, right? So when you ask a question, what will happen, if I can show it here, is your reviews. Hold on, let's see if I do the SEO. Let's show. No, I can show you on a business I don't own, maybe, who's got a lot of reviews. Let's do this. Let's do this. I think should come up for everything. Okay, but this person has reviews. So let's see if we can get to their profile. Here, we're going down to questions. Be the first to ask a question. Now they have reviews, right? And it looks like if I type in real estate, if they had a review or a post that had the word real estate in it, it would pull up, because what Google's trying to do here is it's trying to answer the question for you. So I want an immediate answer. And so basically the system is scouring all the reviews saying, oh, this one had real estate. This one has real estate. Then you tell Google if this is helpful, and that gives them feedback, right? So there are some really interesting things with your Google Business Profile. As you can see, these things are like these things. So they're just more options for how to use Google Business Profile. You can also go in here and add more products. And if we look, okay, so when we look on the outside of this, we have our business name. We have the only category that shows up is going to be your first one. We have our main area, or where we're located, our reviews. We can have our online appointment here. we have our address, we have updates on what we're doing for health and safety, we have our products. And so your job with your Google Business Profile is to try to push down as far as possible the competition that's under all this stuff. So you have your products, then you have your categories, which it's so strange. Try to utilize them. Your questions, send it to your phone. It's bringing in this stuff. This is Facebook and Google put together, the 47 Yably. So I went there. I don't understand why that's being pulled in, but it is. So then you have your reviews. Google saying get more reviews, add a photo, right? So what's important? Get more reviews, add photos. You can talk about your business. Google has the right to change this information. And then you have your posts, right? And when you click on the post, you can actually go through lots of posts. And you can see over time, like mine aren't that many. I'll show you one that's like thousands. And they do grow over time. I think video is working really well. And you can have a call to action. Sometimes posts will get rejected. Adding extra links, adding a phone number to your post is bad, very bad. It's actually against the rules, and it's called phone stuffing. So there's that. So when I say you're pushing down, so then you have your social profiles, and no, you can't control this. You cannot control it. You can do some things to try to help yourself get your profiles there, but know that it's a vanity thing. You don't need to be there. Like my Instagram doesn't need to be here, or my YouTube. If it's not there, it's not there yet. I'll work towards it. Originally it was just Facebook. I'm not sure why Twitter's there. And then these are the other people searching, or the other businesses in my area that are showing up. So I'm trying to push this down as far as possible. If I want to give feedback, again, I can click here. We know that feedback can help us manage other businesses if they're doing the wrong things. Now, one caveat, don't ever say a business is a duplicate business. If you're mad at a company, it's really mean. There are some really mean things you can do. Google knows you did it. So that's the thing about nefarious behavior. If you keep clicking on a business that's saying it's closed and it's not, Google's going to stop listening to you. So now I'm going to take you to the other side of your Google Business Profile Manager, just to give you an idea of what's going on. So you got the hamburger menu, right? Goes in and out, and then you have all these things. Again, left-hand side menu, right? So let's go into Simon's Bike Shop. And I don't know if you noticed before we jump in here, the little dot. So that means there's changes that you can accept or not. Simon had some changes. It goes alphabetical. You can also search. When you go in here, again, your homepage is all these different things on your home page are going to take you to different places in your menu over on the left hand side. Don't use the ads. This is exactly the same as what we already looked at, but this is on the back side. So this is what we're using right now, but Google's trying to move us into using the Google Business Profile on the search engine results pages. There's a lot of information, right? You can see performance. So if we look at this, what is Google telling me that's important? Spend money with me. Add a photo, create a post. Oh, keep the customers up to date. That's what they want. Spend money. Connect your Shopify. That's new. And there's photos.
Can I pop in here quick?
Sure.
Because I do have a Shopify, but I thought for the longest time that we weren't allowed GMB because we're in e-commerce and we don't have a physical address, even though obviously the business is a physical address, which is my home address.
That is interesting. So some can connect. But so Simon's Bike Shop. This is a local business that sells bikes. So he has an e-commerce store, but he also has a location where people can go. So the two I wouldn't, because you can. So that it's a hard one. So as a representative that is a white hat SEO, do I recommend that? Probably not. No. But that being said, it is up to you. Google a lot of the time won't let you. Like, people have really tried to game this system in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And so I understand, and there will be more availability. So the two rules with Google My Business to have one are, do you service local customers in your area? Do you have a service area? So
well, technically no, but I do have lots of samples. So I'm happy to have someone come to my little home office / studio and try things on.
Yeah, I would try it and see, and then when they get you to verify and you have to talk to a rep, say that. The idea is to get the postcard, not have to talk to a rep right away.
Exactly. Yeah, it
That's the
always gives
idea.
you the postcard option. I haven't done it because I thought the whole point is I had to have a shop, like a physical location. But I
Well,
mean, it will help my
There,
SEO.
there is one caveat in that part, which is the Shopify local delivery option. Because if you do any of the local deliveries and have that enabled, that technically would mean that you have a service area, meaning that you are willing to drive to drop off something to a customer.
yeah, you could, so that might be your in.
Okay. Let's
So
see.
we wouldn't have to have our address on our Google business profile because we do serve. So we serve people in the States. We also serve people in our local area. But Google was really strict on it in the past. I know somebody that's gotten banned from Google business profile, which I thought was ridiculous because I was like, you could serve people next door. So even if you're like, if you're a virtual assistant, now there are some things like if Google wants you to prove stuff, they have weird things like must have a decal on your car or must have signage out front. There are things like that can happen. People do get denied. So those are the things I just wanted to bring your attention to on this side is the info section. Remember, we said the most important thing is your categories, which they don't tell you they're your categories. You don't see anything here. It just says business name and then it's got a list of things here. So business owners don't know that what's the most important. And it's the most important. Your number one category is the most important. So then your service areas, add 20. One of the things we do here is we go, and I'll show you this when we do Google Ads. We go into Google Ads and we try to look at service areas because in many communities, there are tiny little areas. For instance, in Victoria, there's a place called Oak Bay. I can actually say Oak Bay, right? I can actually say, I bet you I could do Marpole, another one. So service areas can be tiny. Just try to make sure it's the 2-hour span at most. Adding hours and updating them, that's where you get this stuff. So it's all the stuff we talked about. Google does jump you around. You can add products here, or you can add products here. You can add services here. You can go here. So there's a lot of crossover, so it can be overwhelming. This is the update. So it's saying Google from other sources, they're trying to get me to do something, which is not always obvious. And I always click learn more. And then I get annoyed and then I go out and then I don't do anything because I'm like, what do they want? Sometimes they'll cross out things. Sometimes they'll add things. It looks like in-store pickup. I agree with that. So I'll go back. I'll be like, okay, there was only one change. So you'll see things crossed out. Now this is under review because I just added something. So then accept all for this location. It'll update it. Things I wanted to show you while we're in here are photos. We're not doing a photo strategy for these people. Some business owners actually have added photo, or some customers, which is fantastic. That's what we want. But look at the number. And this number grows over time, right? So we got 900. This 7 weeks ago. So Google's telling us the week it was posted and then the viewers. And if you keep going down, because they've been around a long time, some of the photos are crazy. So sometimes we'll add our posts like these as photos to try things, saying who added it, the business owner. So photos are super important. And you have all of these, and then you have products. That's interesting, right? If I click the blue, I see the blue plus button, add a photo, right? You're on the photo page. If I'm on products and if there's a blue plus button, it would be add a product. So I can add products, add all this information here, add the call to action to my business page. Products are more stagnant. They're not ever changing, right? Blog posts are more like posts. The other thing I want you to see here are posts. So Simon's posts have a ton. So does this benefit you? Yes. It works better over time. And this is the Clorox. Look at this. So this is something that a lot of other business owners aren't doing, right? Now, I told you quickly before I take it to Q&A, I told you about this nifty, handy Chrome extension. And don't worry, in the slide deck, so let me just go back here. The nifty, handy, dandy slide deck. Not only do you get a GMB audit template, that is right, and we can go through that in our co-working session, But these are just fun things if you want to contact Google. If you want to take their free course, it's arduous and I wouldn't. But there's the category of Plepper. You can get into Google Maps. You can find your competition with the GMB Spy. Get your review link. I like to add Photopea wherever I can, or Canva, because those are going to be posts. Those are free tools to use to make posts. That now Canva is going to be easier. Photopea is a lot like Photoshop. And then you have this if you're American. So I try to book an appointment. I dare anybody to try to book an appointment. I want to see what they're doing. So you can get free collateral for businesses you work with. So there's a lot of extra stuff. And again, your templates here. When you click on it, all it is documents that this is for you to go and look at your competition. It's a competition audit. So you're going to go through all these manual things like, who's my competition? Do they have the keyword in their title? Who's my competition? Do they have the keyword in the title? So you can see if you go through all this, you can actually find out what they're doing. Now, the GMB Spy tells you your competitors' category. So I have to go to the maps, and let's go to the maps. And we can pick. Okay, so what you're seeing here, all these extra added things are another tool that I just started using, which I'll tell you about in a second. But the GMB Spy, so I'm here, if I click, I'm already seeing the reviews, but it'll tell me the primary category is real estate agent, same as this other tool, but they don't have any secondary. So this tool is telling me that too. So I really like GMB Spy. I've been using it a long time, but now I found this other tool, and you get 5 free audits a month. So you'd click on this. So the tool is called GMB Everywhere. It's a GMB audit for local SEO. So even though I gave you a local audit that you can do manually to check on your competition, you can actually use these, the basic audit. I'm not going to get to see anything, but oh, did you see that? So that basic audit, there were a whole bunch of links, and you just click through all of them, and then you start learning about things that you can put your competition in. You get 5 free a month. I'm actually going to buy this tool because I liked it so much. But that will be in the slide deck. So that's Google My Business. It's a lot, but it's fun. It's not hard. And all you got to do is play around, click around, and get down. I know, old, but you're laughing.